In this video, you will learn about some physical hazards commonly found in the workplace. Let us first identify what are physical hazards. Physical hazards are environmental factors that can cause harm to the worker with or without physical contact. Physical hazards are the most common hazard that can be found in all workplace. Examples of physical hazards include loud noises, vibration to the hand and arm or the whole body, working in extreme temperature, as well as exposure to radiation. Other forms of physical hazards includes electrical hazards, working at height and ergonomic hazards. These hazards fall under the broad umbrella of physical hazards. Let us take a closer look at these hazards, and identify what are the sources of these hazards, and how they can cause harm to workers. Loud noises are considered as a form of physical hazards. The degree of loudness of a noise can be described in decibel. In a quiet library, the noise level is approximately 40 decibel, which is the lowest level in an urban environment. A normal conversation between two persons is usually 65 to 70 decibel. The noise of a food blender is estimated to be around 80 decibel, which is approximately twice as loud as compared to 70 decibel. The noise made by a chainsaw can be as loud as 120 decibel. According to the Workplace Safety and Health Guidelines in Singapore, noise level at, or above 82 decibel, have a daily permissible exposure limit. For example, a person should not be exposed to noise level at 82 decibel for a total of 16 hours in a day. The duration of exposure can be cumulative, meaning that there can be intervals where the workers are not exposed to any noise at all. However, exposures of noise in short durations have to be taken into consideration. Higher decibel level have a shorter permissible exposure limit. For example, a powered lawn mower is 90 decibel, which is 4 times louder than 70 decibel. The permissible exposure limit for 90 decibel is 2 hours per day, shorter than the permissible 16 hours allowed for exposure to 82 decibel. Loud noises can be derived from different sources. In a construction site, heavy machinery such as tractors, jackhammers and piling machines are sources of loud noises. Amplified music in entertainment venues, especially in closed venues, can be considered as a form of noise hazard. Prolonged exposure to loud noises can lead to poor hearing and in severe cases, result in noise-induced deafness. Working in an extremely hot or cold environment is a form of physical hazard. Extreme temperature, also known as thermal exposure, is related to experiencing a hot or a cold environment. The normal body temperature of human is maintained at 37 degrees Celsius. Slight heating or cooling of the body can lead to discomfort. Working under the hot sun or very near a heat source such as a hot oven or incinerator can lead to heat exhaustion to the body. Heat exhaustion can develop after several days of exposure to high temperature. Symptoms of heat exhaustion can include muscle cramp as well as dehydration, which can lead to fainting. In severe cases, prolonged exposure to heat can lead to heat stroke, where the body is unable to cool down using its own mechanism. Unlike heat exhaustion, heat stroke is a medical emergency and requires immediate medical attention. Heat stroke can lead to internal organ damage, brain damage or death. On the other end of the spectrum, working in low temperature can be a hazard as well. Working in cold environments such as during winter period in temperate countries, or in a cold room or deep freezer can lead to frostbite and in serious cases, hypothermia. Frostbite can lead to permanent loss of function of fingers or toe or even the whole limb. In severe cases, working in these cold environment can result in hypothermia. Hypothermia is when the body cannot generate enough heat to maintain our normal body temperature. When the core body temperature drops by 1 degree Celsius from 37 degree to 36 degree, uncontrolled shivering will occur in most people. A person with a core body temperature of 34 degree will start to have slurred speech as well as impaired judgment. If the core body temperature reaches 25 degree, most organ will lose its function and death will occur. Radiation is a general term used to describe any process that transmits energy through space or a material away from a source. There are two forms of radiation. They are ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. Light, sound, and radio waves are all examples of non-ionizing radiation. When most people think of radiation, they are thinking of ionizing radiation. This form of radiation can disrupt the atoms and molecules within the body. Examples of ionizing radiation include X-ray that is emitted by X-ray machines, as well as radioactive material that is used in nuclear plant to generate energy. Interestingly, taking an aeroplane exposes individuals to radiation as well. However, the dose of exposure is minimum in a plane flight. A 14-hour flight is estimated to be equal to 1/4 of the radiation exposed when doing a mammogram X-ray. Therefore, the harmful effect of ionizing radiation depends on the length and dose of exposure. Acute, high dose of exposure to ionizing radiation can have some immediate effect. These include nausea, vomiting and diarrhea. Longer-term effect of high radiation exposure can lead to cataract, cancer and death. One other common physical hazards in workplaces is electrical hazard. Electricity is an essential energy source in all workplaces. Electricity is used to power automated machines and various equipment. Working with electricity has become part and parcel of our life. Although essential, if electricity is not used properly, it can lead to electrical accidents. Common electrical hazard can be due to defective or poor maintenance of electrical devices, such as wiring. Inappropriate handling of electrical devices, such as turning on a switch with wet fingers, or working with electricity in a wet surrounding, can be hazardous. Another common electrical hazard is to overload a power plug. Electricity accidents can cause electric shocks and in some cases, serious burns or even death.